Hello English 200, this is Brandon again. It's been quite a week, huh? Um, I am tired and man, it's just been long. Child is just screaming and whatnot, and it's crazy. To all those who plan to have children, you are. It's it's hard for the first couple months. He's gonna be a month old, so it's awesome. But anyways, going to my uh, going to today's video, I was reading Chang's essay, and it was interesting to read about other people's viewpoints on Murayama's, you know, Murayama's, about criticizing Murayama's books and what type of insight they gave. Essentially, the essay was talking about all three of his books. 5 Years on a Rock, All I Need Is My Body, and Plantation Boy. And they're talking about, you see, all the circumstances and all the events that Japanese Americans had to endure, Issei and Nisei, throughout that time, how it was hard for Murayama himself to go ahead and actually put the book into publishing because they didn't want to do it because they thought that Pidgin wasn't a language and it was it wouldn't be published because there's a lot of spelling errors and people wouldn't understand. So he decided to start his own printing press, and he printed, I believe, up to 10,000 copies, and it became famous in about the 1970s. So that was pretty amazing for the author to do that. It shows his dedication to tell a story. But it's interesting. It's interesting that that Chang touched on topics about the racism, about how it seemed like the Howleys. I don't like saying that. It's it's still used as a derogatory term. But I'll just use it because I have to, because it's in the book. But anyways, how the Howleys get the better positions like supervisor, whereas the Japanese get they don't really get much of a promotion. They just work and they get underpaid. And another thing is that it points out the plantation mentality that they have and what they go through, and it's just just stay there, die there, be there for your family. You're not going anywhere. You're just gonna stay here in Hawaii, and I just can't imagine that. That's just sounds depressing. And the racism that was going around between the Howleys and the Okinawans and the Japanese. That was another point that they pointed out. How that despite even not even being in Okinawa or Japan, they still treat Okinawans like second-class citizens, and even Toshi even said that he didn't really consider Okinawan girls good. But yeah, it spoiled the ending for me. But it's okay, it's okay. Spoilers happen all the time. It's just a sense of irony, but it's okay. I'm sure I'll get to the end shortly, and then we can read it and be like, oh, okay, yeah, it makes lots of, yeah, well, oh well, it's okay. Star Wars, Episode 7 was ruined for me multiple times, and that was a big spoiler. So, there are worse things out there, and it's okay. Besides, we're getting graded on this anyway, so. But, and it was also pointing out the ending too, about how Toshi was able to climb up the ladder of being successful, how, I think his name is Koyashi, how he joined the army, expected to get out of the plantation mentality, only to end up experiencing war, how Japanese are just basically used as cannon fodder, and it's just terrible, and what he had to witness, and he has to come back to the plantation, which is like, all that happened, it just didn't sound very appreciative, and that's crap of the U.S. Army to do that to us, and I didn't know that there was a lot of racism back then, or, yeah, I just can't imagine, especially in combat. I thought you're supposed to be brothers, but let's put the minorities first and let them die. I thought that was rough, but so those are the main points that I read, and it just gave me a better insight about what's happening in the story of the racism, the plantation mentality, wanting to get out and do better for yourself, how traditional Japanese were back then. I think I'm like third or fourth generation. Yeah, we're really American, and I don't really speak a lick of pidgin, so, I mean, I know some, but I don't really speak it. I basically, what Toshi would say is I'm Hollyfied, and but it's my choice, and I choose to speak proper English, because that's just how I am. But going off the subject, it pointed out all the racism that I wasn't aware of. I didn't know. I just thought everybody worked and just got along. I guess maybe everyone's experience is different, or everyone's experience is different as a whole. My grandpa didn't really talk about the racism, so I don't know. Maybe he didn't mention it, but it seemed like he got along with a lot of people, but he got out of the plantation mentality. He was actually able to be a maintenance supervisor at Kaiser Permanente, so he was he worked at Fields, but he eventually moved up and got a house, had a family, but I wasn't aware of that, and it just made me realize about that, and made it an issue to where I'm more aware, and what's happening, and I also see that how much the main character wants to preserve Pigeon. Like, even though he gets teased for it and and he needs to speak proper English, he tries very hard to keep that part of him. I can't blame him. And another thing is that I, I'm not, well, as I was saying earlier, I'm not really traditional, so we don't, we go and branch off and do our own thing. We don't necessarily just stay with our family, or that's how I feel. I moved away for a while, and well, things changed. I don't want to live here with my family forever. I guess we're so Americanized that our values have changed, and we've become individuals instead of a collective unit. But yeah, it was an interesting essay, and I'm glad I read it. And thank you, Professor, for introducing it to us, despite the spoilers. But it was worth it. It was worth it. It pointed out issues that I did not know, and point out issues that even my grandpa didn't know, because it seemed like he got along with everybody. I mean, he was good friends with Duke Kahanamoku, so I don't. He never talked to me about it, so I have no idea. But now that would be interesting to ask him. But anyways, I'm just rambling on. But anyways, thank you for having us read this, and I will see you all next week.